Hey there, friends. Have you ever stepped outside on a crisp winter morning and felt that chill sneak right through your coat, making you shiver down to your bones? Or maybe you've noticed that even inside, with the heater humming, you still can't quite shake that cold feeling in your fingers or toes. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. As we get a little older, staying warm in the winter can feel like more of a challenge than it used to. But don't worry, I'm here with you today to share some cozy, practical ways to keep that chill at bay so you can enjoy the season instead of dreading it. Winter's a beautiful time. Think of those frosty windows or the quiet snow blanketing the ground, but it can also be tough on us, especially after 60. Our bodies don't hold heat the way they did when we were chasing kids around or shoveling the driveway without a second thought. Circulation slows a bit, and that thermostat inside us doesn't always keep up. That's why figuring out how to stay warm isn't just about comfort, it's about feeling good, staying healthy, and keeping your spirits high when the days get short and the nights get long. In this video, we're going to walk through some easy, down-to-earth ideas to keep you toasty all winter long. We'll talk about layering up the smart way, warming up your home without breaking the bank, and even a few tricks to keep your hands and feet from feeling like ice cubes. So, grab a blanket or a hot cup of something nice, and let's get started. First off, let's talk about dressing for the cold, because what you wear can make all the difference. You might think, I've been putting on sweaters forever, I've got this. And you're right, you know the basics. But there's a little trick to it now that really helps trap that warmth. It's all about layering, and I don't mean just piling on every sweater you own until you can't move. Start with something light next to your skin, like a soft cotton or thermal shirt, nothing too tight, just comfy. Then add a thicker layer, maybe a fleece or a wool sweater. Wool's a superstar here, it's like a hug that keeps the heat in even if it gets a little damp. Top it off with a jacket or a vest, something that blocks the wind if you're heading outside. My neighbor Bill swears by this. He used to just throw on one heavy coat and call it a day, but he'd still come back shivering. Now he does the layer thing, and he says it's like carrying his own little furnace around. Oh, and don't forget your extremities. Hats, scarves, and gloves are your best friends. You lose a ton of heat from your head, so even a simple knit cap can feel like turning up the dial. I keep a basket of them by my door, and it's a small thing that makes stepping out so much nicer. While we're on the subject of staying warm, let's think about your feet for a minute. Cold feet can ruin a perfectly good day, right? Thick socks are a must, wool or a wool blend if you can swing it, because they wick away moisture and keep the heat where it belongs. I used to think all socks were the same until my daughter got me a pair of those fuzzy ones for Christmas, and now I'm hooked. If your floors are chilly, especially if you've got tile or hardwood, slippers with a good sole are a lifesaver. My friend Janet found a pair with memory foam, and she says it's like walking on a cloud that keeps her toes toasty. And here's a little secret, on really cold nights, I'll warm a hot water bottle and tuck it down by my feet under the covers. It's old-fashioned, sure, but it works like a charm. Now, dressing right is a big piece of the puzzle, but what about when you're just hanging out at home? Keeping your space warm doesn't have to mean cranking the heat until your bill looks like a phone number. One easy way to start is by letting the sun do some of the work for you. During the day, pull back those curtains and let that sunlight pour in. It's free heat, and it feels so good on a winter afternoon. My cousin Ed started doing this, and he says his living room feels like a cozy nook even when it's freezing outside. Then, when the sun goes down, close those curtains up tight to keep the warmth from sneaking out. If you've got some heavier drapes or even a blanket you can hang over the window, that's even better. It's like putting a sweater on your house. There's so much more we can do to keep the cold out and the warmth in, especially when it comes to moving around a bit to get that blood flowing. That's where things get really interesting, so let's dive into that next. So, we've got a solid start on staying warm, layering up like pros, keeping those feet cozy, and letting the sun lend us a hand at home. It's all about building that warmth from the inside out and making sure it sticks around. Now, let's talk about something that's just as simple but can really turn up the heat in the best way: moving your body a little. I know, winter makes you want to hunker down with a blanket and not budge, but even a bit of gentle activity can make you feel like you've flipped a switch on that internal heater. You don't need to run a marathon or anything wild, trust me, I'm not about to suggest that. It's more about those small, easy moves you can do right where you are. Picture this, you're sitting in your favorite chair, maybe watching the snow fall outside, and you start rolling your shoulders or stretching your arms up like you're reaching for the ceiling. It's nothing fancy, but it gets the blood flowing, and before you know it, you're not feeling that chill quite as much. My friend Ruth does this every morning. She calls it her wake up wiggle, and she swears it's why she doesn't need to pile on 3 sweaters by noon. Even standing up and walking around the room a few times can do wonders. It's like stirring a pot of soup to keep it warm all the way through. If you're up for a little more, a short stroll, inside or out, can be magic. Maybe it's just pacing the hallway while you chat on the phone, or if the weather's not too nasty, a quick loop around the yard with your layers on. I started doing this last winter after my grandson dared me to keep up with him, and I was amazed at how toasty I felt afterward. The trick is to keep it light and steady, no need to push too hard. Your body's already doing the work of warming you up, and it feels good to give it a little nudge. Plus, it's a nice way to shake off that winter sluggishness we all know too well. While we're keeping things moving, let's shift to something that pairs perfectly with that, warming up from the inside with what you eat and drink. There's nothing like a hot meal or a steamy mug to chase the cold away, right? Think of a bowl of soup or stew simmering on the stove, maybe some chicken noodle or a hearty veggie mix with a bit of spice to kick things up. It's not just about the heat, foods like that keep you hydrated and give your body fuel to stay warm. My neighbor Sally makes a big pot of chili every Sunday, and she says it's her secret weapon for feeling cozy all week. Even something simple like oatmeal in the morning, with a sprinkle of cinnamon, can start your day off warm and happy. And don't sleep on drinks. Hot tea, coffee, or even just warm water with a slice of lemon can feel like a hug from the inside. I've got a little ritual where I wrap my hands around a mug of chamomile tea in the afternoon, and it's like the cold doesn't stand a chance. If you're feeling fancy, a dash of ginger or honey in there can give it an extra warming boost. The key is to sip slowly and let that heat spread through you. It's a small thing, but it's amazing how much it can lift your spirits when the wind's howling outside. Now, while we're sipping and stirring, let's think about one more way to keep that warmth going, making your bed a little sanctuary against the cold. Nights can be the toughest part of winter, when the house quiets down and the chill seems to creep in. A good blanket is your first line of defense, something thick like flannel or fleece that traps the heat close. I picked up a quilted throw a while back, and it's like sleeping under a cloud that keeps me snug all night. If you're still feeling a draft, layering a couple of lighter blankets can work better than one heavy one. It's that same trick we talked about with clothes, trapping air to keep you warm. And here's a little tip my mom used to swear by: warm up your bed before you climb in. A hot water bottle or even a heated rice sock, pop it in the microwave for a minute, tucked under the covers for a bit can make sliding into bed feel like a treat. My husband laughs at me for it, but he's always the first one stealing the warm spot. If you've got an electric blanket, that's the deluxe version, just set it low and let it do the work. It's all about making your space feel safe and warm, so you wake up ready to take on the day instead of shivering under the sheets. With movement and cozy nights in the mix, there's one more piece to this puzzle that can really seal the deal, keeping the heat in your home from slipping away. That's where we'll go next, so stick with me. Alright, we've been building up some great ways to stay warm, layering our clothes, moving a little to get the blood flowing, sipping hot drinks, and making our beds a cozy haven. It's all coming together to keep that winter chill from getting the best of us. Now, let's talk about keeping your home itself warm, because no matter how many sweaters you wear, if the heat's sneaking out the door, it's hard to feel snug. The good news? You don't need to be a handyman or spend a fortune to make your space a toasty retreat. One of the easiest places to start is with those sneaky drafts, you know, that little whistle of cold air that sneaks in around windows or under doors. It's amazing how much heat can slip away through those gaps. A rolled-up towel or an old blanket pushed against the bottom of a door can stop it in its tracks. My friend Doris keeps a stash of these by her back door, and she says it's like turning the thermostat up without touching it. For windows, those plastic film kits you can stick on with a hairdryer are a lifesaver. They're not fancy, but they work like a charm. I tried it last year on my drafty kitchen window, and it was like the room got a warm hug overnight. Little fixes like that keep the heat where it belongs, right there with you. While we're sealing things up, let's think about how you're heating your space. You don't have to crank the furnace until your eyes water over the bill. A small space heater can be your best buddy, especially in the rooms you use most. Pop one in the living room while you're watching TV or near your favorite reading chair. It's like having a personal campfire without the smoke. My cousin Tom keeps one by his recliner, and he says he barely notices the cold anymore. Just make sure it's got a safety shut-off, because peace of mind is worth its weight in gold. And if you're using a big heater for the whole house, nudge it up a degree or two during the day, then ease it back at night under those blankets we talked about. It's a balance that keeps you comfy without overdoing it. Now, speaking of comfort, let's not forget about humidity, because winter air can get so dry it sucks the warmth right out of you. Ever notice how your skin feels like sandpaper or your nose gets all stuffy when the heat's been running? A humidifier can fix that fast. It doesn't have to be anything big, just a little tabletop one in your bedroom or living room adds moisture back into the air, making it feel warmer and easier to breathe. I picked up a cheap one last winter, and it's like the room went from a desert to a cozy nook. If you don't have one, even a pot of water simmering on the stove with a bit of cinnamon can do the trick. Smells nice too. With your home holding on to that heat, there's one last piece that ties it all together: looking after yourself when you do step outside. Because let's face it, winter doesn't mean we're hibernating. Whether it's a quick trip to the mailbox or a visit to a friend, staying warm out there matters. We've already got the layers down, but timing's a little secret weapon too. Try heading out in the late morning or early afternoon when the sun's at its peak. It's not summer, but those rays can take the edge off. My neighbor Jack started doing this for his daily walk, and he says it's way better than battling the early morning frost. And if it's windy, tuck that scarf around your neck and face. It's like a shield against the bite. If you're out for longer, keep something warm in your hands, a hot coffee in a travel mug or even those little hand warmer packets you can slip into your gloves. I keep a few in my coat pocket from November to March, and they're like tiny miracles when I'm waiting for the car to heat up. It's all about keeping that warmth close, so you come back inside feeling good instead of frozen. And when you do get back, kick off those shoes, slip into those fuzzy slippers we talked about, and let your home wrap you up in all the coziness you've built. So, there you have it, ways to dress, move, eat, sleep, and heat your way through winter like it's no big deal. It's not about doing everything at once, just pick what feels right for you and let it add up. You deserve to feel warm and wonderful, no matter how cold it gets out there. I'd love to hear how you're keeping the chill away. Drop a comment below and share your tricks with me. If this helped you out, give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button for more ideas to make life a little brighter. Here's to staying warm and loving every minute of it. You've got this.